Let's see what horrors await. We're not on the right side of the post-it note. There we go. Oh, I thought it was going to be Samson. That's a problem because this is the one character we're done with. Yep. You know, we'll play it anyway. I was just going to go back to the main menu, but, well, one, the run might go bad. And two, we're allowed to enjoy a run every so often. I'll just aim for a chest win, I guess, so we can get some items. Why not? Hello, Charles. Just go sneeze on some normal enemies instead of the terrible alt floors and whatnot. And we got a really good item. Oh, if I was playing as a character that needed an unlock, that would have been a great start, especially because it's a double floor. You're not sure how I should feel about changing up my schedule? I know. I am one of those people who do not like change in general. Now, I do come bearing things to talk about for a change, not really related to my... well, a little bit related to my day off, but I want to wait until some people are here. A hint for one of them was in the go live message for anybody who, well, one, received the email from Twitch, which is like a 35% success rate, maybe? Not related to Batman, no. Neither are related to Batman. I have no Batman related news. I thought there was a gust of wind, but it was just a collective sigh of relief from chat. Oh yeah, one was in the go live message, and the other we'll get to. Don't boo. I mean, in general, we're still playing the Batman games and not done with Arkham Knight yet, and probably won't be for a little bit. That's actually what one of the topics of conversation is connected to. Actually, before there's more people here, it might be a better idea to say, just in case it doesn't happen, because then there'll be less people disappointed. It's my birthday next month, and obviously we want to ideally do some special stuff for it, but usually my fallback for, oh, it's a special occasion, what do? Is play a Batman game. And we've already done that, unfortunately, just prior to June, so I was like, well, what else could I bring back that people might appreciate and enjoy, especially because it's probably going to be a super slow summer for releases, given, like, this is the offshoot of COVID slowing everything down. There's just not many releases I'm interested in. So I might, and that's a big might, so don't take it as verbatim, I might do another XCOM 2 playthrough in June. Not super modded other than quality of life. Could just do a little... no, not Fortnite. Although that is going to be around ever so often. Until I get sick of the no build mode, or it puts me in matches where there is no bots. And at that point I will stop enjoying it because I will stop getting kills. I'll stop getting like 4 or 5 kills a match minimum. We'll see though. Play it again? I mean, we'll definitely play the Arkham games again, but not immediately. I was tempted to learn how to be a speedrunner of the Arkham games because that would give me an excuse to play them. This is not what I thought this did. I thought I had control of my head. That's okay, that's not great. But honestly, the speedruns of the Arkham games kind of bad.
Feels like I'm walking on sunshine.
That's an interesting array of pills. Vampire BR? Overwatch 2 I might try, I'm not sure. It honestly just sounds like a worse version of Overwatch 1, like even less fun to be had, and I'm after a good time. Like, why did they think adding more restrictions would make the game better? No more spikes. Pretty good. I should have went to the shop and bought the Spirit Heart. I forgot. I noticed that I had 5 coins just as I jumped down. I didn't technically say we were discussing food, for the record. But it is related to that. There isn't any other Batman games I'm interested in. I was tempted a couple of times to try the Telltale Batman games, but I've seen a little bit of them and I mean, no. Just no. I'm quite content to wait till the end of October. Ooh, donut power. The end of October. Actually, they might not do the donut for this one. No, it must do, because what else would it do? Yeah, it's just a thin donut. And it came with a massive damage down for no good reason. You know what? If there's a Batman skin for XCOM, I'd probably get that. I don't know. I'd have to look and see what's changed in that kind of department. You got me distracted with what I was saying. And now I can't remember. The donut has betrayed me. Oh yeah, Batman games. Like, I'm quite content to wait for... Also, how dare you get me talking about Batman after I said I wouldn't. I'm content to wait for Gotham Knights, even if it turns out to be a little bit meh. I think I'm getting a key for Multiverse, and Batman is in that, and it is voiced by Kevin Conroy. So, on a technicality, that might count. But I don't know what other old Batman games are there besides the Arkham games and the other one I mentioned, the Telltale games. I remember there being like an Atari Batman game based on the first Keaton movie that was pretty shit. Don't think there's any others. Oh, the Lego ones. Yeah, I bought the first 3 Lego Batmans in a sale, and I tried to play with the first 2. I kind of don't get the appeal of the Lego games. I just kind of don't get it. Like, it's bad combat with like bad looking graphics. Hello, Triffy. Are they better co-op? Do they even have co-op? Like, is that the point? Like, you're just supposed to multiplay? I played the Marvel one on PS Vita, and I think I did most of that one. But I still didn't. What if I do this? Oh, I still have control of the donut. That's interesting. Okay. Can't really steer the blood spouting out of my neck hole, but that's okay. They do have co-op? I mean, I think I have all 3 of them on Steam. If Valnar's willing to take that hit. Sure, what are you going to do? Steal my HP? It gave me HP at the cost of tears, which doesn't matter. I do kind of like the... Yeah, we're going to take Ron, baby. Goodbye, HP. Are they local co-op? You know what? Let's check. I believe I'm getting... Well, I mean, I applied for a key like everyone else can, but I also got a PR thing saying, are you interested? Although that doesn't guarantee, even if you say yes, that you're getting one, but I did say yes. Let me see. Lego... Oh, Lego. Yep, I do have all 3 in my Steam library. I'm pretty sure I only played the first 2 a little bit. Store page. Does it say local co-op? Oh, that would mean remote play would work, though, presumably. Yeah, local co-op. Oh no, it says local co-op and co-op on the first one, so presumably if it has it, the others would as well. Oh, it now says it because of remote play. Yeah, so it's technically not co-op. It's laggy remote play co-op. It's the asterisk co-op. The later ones might, like, maybe I didn't. I only checked 1. I didn't check 2 and 3.
Range.
Oh no, the range of my unlimited range donut has decreased. Whatever will I do? For anyone who isn't aware, Multiverse is DC's kind of official license Smash ripoff. Just like the Nickelodeon Smash ripoff, but DC characters. I'm kind of surprised, 1, that they bothered to get Kevin Conroy to voice Batman for it, and 2, that he said yes. But I think he just likes voicing the character, honestly. He is a class act. They're co-op games, local play only, with remote play. Yeah. I mean, remote play is a wonderful invention, it's just not perfect. It's the best thing Steam's done in years. Just ice. No spare heart on the occasion I remember to look for it. Look away, epileptic seizure warning. Yeah, the input lag and quality. If we both had much better internet connections, I think the quality would be better. But yeah. As I say, I don't mind waiting for Gotham Knights. I would replay Arkham Origins if I could get it on PS5. Because it doesn't function on PC much anymore. I don't mind playing it, it's just a bit of a mess. Which is why they haven't bothered releasing it as part of like a PS5 pack or anything like that. Well, not that they've done that for the first 3 Arkham games either, that's a PS4 collection. So the thing I actually wanted to talk about, before you got me talking about Batman video games... Son of a bitch. If I die, I'm just playing as this character again. At this point. I was having a good time and now it's ruining it with bad trip pills. I, as per usual, on a day off, was letting YouTube guide my viewing to whatever it decided to watch. And I made the mistake of watching one too many dog videos, so it was suggesting a lot of dog videos. Cute dog videos, but still, you know, fairly one note, and now that's kind of overtaken my recommendations on my main channel. So I decided I'll go to the tabletop channel and see what it suggests me, because I don't really watch anything on that, I just go to it to upload. Why did I get a spirit heart there? I also forgot the item room, but I ain't going back. So I decided to just like follow the rabbit hole on there to see what I could do. And I made the mistake slash smart idea of watching a officially uploaded episode of Kitchen Nightmares. Because the Kitchen Nightmare... Oh, sorry, Don Thornbury as well. Thank you for the resub. I forgot to mention. For 48 months. But I watched an episode of Kitchen Nightmares on the official channel. You can go to the official channel and they've uploaded like every season, full episodes and clips and whatnot. But I made the mistake of doing that, so now the recommendations on my tabletop channel was just nothing but Kitchen Nightmares, which is okay. So I kind of went down the rabbit hole of like the upload full episodes, which are like 40 minutes. But you can pretty much condense... Jesus, this pill rotation. You can condense it much more to that than like... Or much more than that. Down to like 5 minutes of them tasting their food. 5 minutes of them looking at how horrible their kitchen is. And then, if you care, 5 minutes or 30 seconds at the end. When everything's better. That's pretty much all you need to watch. I've seen... Like, I saw... episode or two back in the day of the British version, which is also on there, but I hadn't seen any of the American stuff, which is a hell of a lot more phony than the British version. Thank you, Alex, for 39 months with a tier 1 sub. There's so much more ADR, there's so much more clearly reshot stuff and redone stuff. Yeah, and what I liked is in the comments, people like posting updates on what happened, and like 90% of the restaurants covered all just go out of business. Or they take the free renovation and then sell the business to cover their debts and just give in. Which is partly why the show stopped, apparently. But I tried to watch a very infamous episode of the American Kitchen Nightmares for a company or restaurant called Amy's Bakery, Amy's something or other, and I couldn't get through it because mental illness as an entertainment piece is not funny to me, and that is clearly someone who is in need of help. And I just couldn't watch it. Other ones where people were like a little messed up, that's fine, but that was a woman who clearly was not all there, and as a result was just put on the program to laugh at. And I'm not a fan of that type of stuff. I'm sure it was played up for the cameras and all that, as reality, quote-unquote reality shows are, but still. That was someone with undiagnosed issues. It was filmed at a restaurant in your hometown? What, you mean like it was faked? It wasn't really the thing it said it was? Because I got that impression from some of them. Hello, Jack. This time I'm remembering to go look for the item room. That's also incidentally why I was almost late to my own stream, because I had an episode on while I was writing the stream stuff, and then it was one of the British episodes and I was kind of getting distracted by it. And then I remembered that I was preparing for a stream and looked at the time and it was like 3 minutes till start, which is usually when I like to be good to go. Like, perfectly good to go. It was real, your cousin word there? Jesus. What happened to that one? Because he didn't do anything to it, right? He didn't renovate it, he refused to because, again, the lady clearly is mentally unstable. Probably should have rerolled that aim. Forgot I had a per throw. It's still open? So that implies that maybe it was an act to get attention. Because if it was really as bad as the usual standards shown on the program, it wouldn't stay open this long, especially after a pandemic. Oh, you're talking about a different one. Sorry, I thought you were still talking about the Amy one. Okay, I have misunderstood part of the story if that's not what you're talking about. Wow, I was actually fast enough for boss rush. I should have brought the teleport card in. The husband from the Amy one is up on mob charges. That explains why she's not right, I guess. I will say I don't really like Gordon Ramsay. I don't like chefs in general, but I don't really like Gordon Ramsay especially. Not in a Chris Pratt kind of unjustified hatred way, I just don't really like the character he puts on. Swears too much. I despise the way he constantly either does rhetorical yeses or rhetorical grunts. Like, cook this, yes? Cook this, He does that constantly and it drives me nuts. And in general, I don't like the way that cooking staff talk to each other. It's very rude. I like that he's polite to service staff because it's not their fault most of the time. Like 99% of the time it's not service staff that's to blame if a restaurant is shit, but they're the ones who have to bear the brunt. Although I do find it very uncomfortable that whenever his server is a young girl, he always calls her beautiful or sweetheart or darling. It's a little weird. It's a little creepy. He's still polite, it's just a little creepy. Didn't I have the... oh, I dropped it. I thought I had the thing still that kept me protected from spikes. I know... well, I don't know personally, but I've seen people who work in the food industry who are now streamers on Twitch talk about their time in the food industry, and they make it sound worse. Like, if you don't turn to alcohol, you turn to drugs or smoking. Because of the stress put on by the industry. How old is he? I believe he's in his early 50s, but I might be wrong. He's married and has a bunch of kids, which is also kind of why I find it a little bit creepy the way he talks to young service staff. It's like he doesn't call the male ones handsome, or son, or you know, that kind of thing. He will sometimes comment that they are nicely dressed. I did also find another infamous episode where the people, again, it feels so staged, so I get why they think it, but they accuse him of, or the program, not necessarily him, of putting a dead mouse in their restaurant to make it like drama. With the state of the restaurant, it's not hard to believe that it was just there, but the location the dead mouse was in makes it very hard to believe that no one noticed it. And it just so happens that Gordon's attention is drawn to like the side corner of the front door, which makes no sense why he would be looking there. So that felt like the production put that there and pointed it out to him as he came in. To me, that's how it came across. I mean, it looked like a real dead mouse. You just wish the man wore gloves. He is always sticking his hand in rotten stuff. I mean, he washes his hands, but still, he is always just like fingering rotten meat and sticking them into cabbages that have turned black, and like he dangles the dead mouse by its tail. It's like, yeah, you should probably be wearing gloves, my man. You're touching a lot of grotty shit. It is also very funny to me that in order to be considered acceptable for American television, Gordon Ramsay had a bunch of plastic surgery, and all it did was make the wrinkles on his face look worse. He looks like one of those dogs that if you push them from behind, their face becomes like a carpet. Like, he looked so much better prior to the surgery, because he looked normal. I know you're a chef, Don Thornbury. I can't help the way I feel about the industry you're in, I'm sorry. Feel free to hate streamers, I don't mind. We laze about and comment on everything that we know nothing about. Well, a friend of mine did work in the food industry for a while. Well, I mean specifically in a restaurant. I worked in the food industry in terms of like a supermarket. Oh, I hate Jamie Oliver. Yeah, he is despicable. Gordon Ramsay frequently makes fun of him, actually. As I say, I don't have anything against him as a person. I hate the persona he puts on. Because it is a persona. Like, you can tell when he's dropped the hard ass act and he's actually like talking to a human like a normal adult would. I did also notice something, and I'm sorry if this ruins like anybody who binge watches Kitchen Nightmares ever so often, but I did notice a trick with the presentation. In any episode where he calls something bland, what that means is it's okay, but you have to say something negative because of the nature of the show. And the quality of restaurants he's visiting in that show, bland is fine, because it's not Michelin star restaurants. But they have to make it seem really bad, so they get him to say, oh, it's bland. He won't try and unbland it by adding his own seasoning, he'd rather just say that because it's the nature of the show. I've noticed that quite a few times. The food looks okay, well, we're dead. The food looks okay, but there's nothing else bad about it, so he'll just say, oh, it's kind of bland. Which is fine. fine for the quality of restaurants he's covering. Although I will say it's a genuine surprise how many of them microwave basically 90% of their food. That's not okay. That's just laziness. And the number of them that don't know the difference between fresh and frozen. That's also pretty funny. Having the British version of the show and the American version of the show on the same channel is also pretty fun because you can see the difference in editing style of reality TV between the two. Like how dramatic the music is in the American version, how it's cut a little bit different, how much more is ADR'd. Which, if you don't know what that means, it means when you don't see someone's face, for instance, every episode of the American version ends with Gordon Ramsay walking away from the restaurant and he makes some smart-ass remark. Every single time, that's not him saying that there and then. Someone's told him to say that in a recording booth when they're doing their looping. Which is fine, you know, every program does that kind of thing. Every reality TV show has stuff that's recorded outside of the events happening. But there's a lot more of it in the American version. The British version tends to have, well, it has arguments as well, but it's more like just raised voices rather than screaming hissy fits. Because we have control over our emotions, more or less. I haven't found it yet, I'm trying to find it, but the one episode of the British version I remember watching, and I've talked about it before on stream because I remember it so fondly, is the one where he goes to the pirate themed restaurant in the UK somewhere. I think it's in Somerset maybe? I don't know why I remember that, but whatever. He goes to a pirate themed restaurant, he talks them out of it, he shows them how to do a normal menu that will make them money rather than losing money. And then it does a few months later we went back to check on so-and-so to see how they're doing. They changed everything back to how it was, and when asked why, they said, oh, we just kind of like the pirate stuff. And that will forever stick with me because of how funny it was. Like they just want a pirate themed restaurant. They don't really care if it's losing money. They just want, I don't know if it's a sex thing or whatever, but they just like being pirates at work. The guy at work calls people donuts. Yeah, that's kind of his brand thing. Does Chris B take offense to that? Like the implication that being a donut is bad? Being a donut is, I imagine, is pretty good. You know, like you're warm and fluffy, assuming you've been made right. You're doughy, and you've got sprinkles, you've got icing on top. It will also never not be funny to me how many times he will just, like, to try and get his point across because he doesn't have a great vocabulary, he will say, like, he'll scream at them, your food is, like, fucking terrible or whatever. And then one of the owners will start crying and he'll stare at them and go, why are you crying? Without fail, it happens so much. It's like they're crying because you just screamed in their face, you dumbass. You know that, probably. Why are you pretending you don't? Again, that's an editing thing, I think. Sorry, and the whole thing to go back to is why this is a Twitch trapping, a streamer trapping, is because so many people a couple of months ago were just streaming themselves watching the Kitchen Nightmares YouTube channel, like they did nothing else but watch Kitchen Nightmares with their friends. Well, friends and viewers. And then that finally forced Twitch to be like, yeah, you can't do that. You can't just stream a television show even if it's on YouTube officially. That's not okay. But it's very, very easy to binge watch. Very easy. So I can understand why people kind of fell into the trapping of like maybe just doing it once and then being like, oh, we can watch another one. They're pretty short. Especially without the ads, obviously. Yeah, don't steal the quote from a chef and use it as your own. It's not a good look. Think up your own stupid thing to call people. Hello, Lan. I do wonder how much of it is also, like, very frequently he'll discover cooked and raw food being kept together and the owner's not understanding why that's a bad idea. I wonder how much of that is real. That feels, it happens so much that I really question how often that happens. Only one bomb. I'll try. I'm not going for Mega Satan, I was trying for a spare heart. Look how happy the Guardian Angel is. Oh yeah, exactly. That would potentially cause so many outbreaks of like salmonella and whatnot. Well, for those of you who are in the food industry, have you ever like worked in a place that did that? I can understand just kind of forgetting to ever clean your walk-in freezers and fridges. But like not knowing the basics of safe food prep, or storage I should say. Like, I don't know how to cook very many things, but I know that uncooked poultry is like really, really dangerous. If not stored correctly or stored with the wrong things. If you handle it and then handle something else with it, cleaning your hands and all that basic stuff. Domino's did shit like that? I almost ordered Domino's on my day off. That would have been awful. I almost fell for one of their... Well, I was going to say con. I don't mean that in a legal sense. Please don't sue. They had a pop-up on their app being like, hey, if you order any size pizza, we'll give you it for $6.99, which is a ridiculously cheap price to their usual prices. I was like, oh, I'll do that. I fancy a pizza. But then I was like, oh, it's app only, so what they're doing is they're taking a hit to their profit in order to get your deets. Sorry, I didn't mean to go all... internet slang, but that's them just fishing for your information, and they're willing to take a little bit of hit to the profit to do it. So that's what made me say, nah, I'm not gonna bother. It's not cheap pizza, it's bloody expensive. Like a medium-sized pizza, which is what I get, is $21.99 full price prior to any like topping changes you want to make. I don't even know what they charge for the large. Oh, it's gone up massively, yeah. I mean, everything has right now, that's another thing. It's just the price of food in general right now is scary. This has apparently become the episode where we talk about food, and I'm just embracing the Twitch stereotype of doing that. Yes, life is expensive in general right now. Power even more so than food, but definitely seeing it on food as well. And postage. Postage is real bad. Didn't I call food ? What? €8 for a medium if you go pick it up? Are you serious? The frog's gotta eat. Thank you for the bits. He does.
Ooh.
Why the hell do we charge so much? Oh right, because of post-Brexit UK being fucked. That's right. Sorry, I forgot. I don't have my phone handy. It's on the charger, so I can't quickly load up the app to check what a standard price is to make sure I'm not bullshitting, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Actually, I can just go to their website. Let's do that. I want to make sure I'm not misrepresenting the Domino Corporation. Domino's... It's trying to block a request to go to their site. My anti... Not an anti-ad blocker, a script blocker. Why do they have a script on? Browse your menu. There we go. It's working. Pizza... A large is $20.99, a medium is $18.99, a small, which is 9.5 inch, $15.99, and a personal pizza, which is a 7 inch, is $8.99. So prior to any topping changes, to round up from large down to personal, 21, 19, 16, 9. In pounds, obviously. Delivery is free if you spend, I think, 15, so just the pizza alone would give you enough for free delivery, I think. Do I use the coupon section? Yes, usually I will only ever order from Domino's if there's some kind of voucher, because it's too expensive. I am a cheapskate. And that's the one Scottish stereotype I actually embrace. I am a cheapskate and a miser. Actually, is being a misanthrope a Scottish stereotype? Because if so, then I'm that one too. I think there's a stereotype that Scottish people are miserable. You can get delivery from 61 pizza restaurants. Don't you live in Silent Hill? Oh no, sorry, you live in Blair Witch. Sorry, I forgot. It still sounds like you're in the middle of nowhere. That does make sense though, like in terms of chain restaurants or chain fast food, there's a Pizza Hut maybe like 40 minutes away. The Domino's is like 20 minutes away. Then you've got like locally owned businesses that do pizzas, but not any big chains. Their prices are a lot cheaper. And you can go to the Chippy and get a pizza crunch, which is a deep fried pizza, don't judge us. I can hear you judging. I said don't judge. Yeah, just ... instead. That's definitely not you judging. Don Tombury isn't allowed to judge. He's Scottish. He knows what a pizza crunch is. You've done your time in the artery mines. Oh, the sneeze destroyed the bone. Ever had a bone destroyed by a sneeze, gents? All this talk of food has made you hungry? It honestly hasn't for me, and usually that's not the effect. This is the room to keep all the hearts in. Speaking of arteries. You want to try this deep fried creation? You probably wouldn't if you saw it. Deep fried what now? I was mentioning Pizza Crunch, which is a Scottish invention. It's a deep fried pizza. No, I'm not joking, it's a real thing. I had a few in my younger days. We did invent the deep fried chocolate bar, which, as I mentioned before, yes, is disgusting, but also one of the best things I've ever tasted. Okay, hang on, let me see here. Pizza Crunch. I won't even be more specific than that. Yep, there's a standard Pizza Crunch, like 10 times over. Here's one that looks like the one I used to get back in the day. I once in a blue moon, just to be clear. Can't really tell what it is if you look at that picture, though. I mean, oh, there we go. That's a good picture of what it actually looks like if you look side on. I mean, there. That's a picture of a Pizza Crunch. That's what a slice would look like if you looked at it side on. Here's what it looks like if you buy it. Oh, this is on a TripAdvisor website and it's under the term Pizza Crunch. This really shouldn't exist. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. There's what it actually looks like. Although the place I got it from would be in a like brown paper, not in a tub like that. Haven't had one since I was like 14, to be clear. You would like 3. Of course, no, it only comes with chips if you get a supper. You can get a half crunch, or you can get a full crunch, and then if you say it's a supper, that's with chips. So, for instance, you can have a sausage supper, and that's a battered smoked sausage that comes with chips. Jesus Christ. That's supper with 2 peas. No, a calzone isn't as bad as that. Although the calzones available in the area are bad. I've tried a couple because I didn't really understand what they were, and they were just... I thought it was just folded over pizza, but it's not. It's filled with shit. Oh, I still didn't find item. That was the shop. You should not be surprised at the things we're capable of deep frying here. Our ability to deep fry things is, quite frankly, intimidating. There's deep fried water. That sounds like a gimmick. I'm trying to think what other deep fried stuff exists. I mean, a deep fried burger, that was like a common thing from the chippy as well. Again, just in the batter. Deep fried butter. We're not Homer Simpson. I will say, if you've never had a deep fried Mars bar, it is absolutely delicious. Horrible and disgusting looking, but it is absolutely delicious. I've had 3 in my life, and that's probably too many, but it is delicious. Oh, pyro, you say? That would not be pyro, that's firemind. You idiot. That's so much worse, although with the death beam, maybe not. Deep fried Twix or Milky Way. I haven't tried any of them. I've only ever tried a Mars bar deep fried. And it probably wasn't an official Mars bar. It was probably like supermarket own brand ripoff. Because it's cheaper. Or we don't need anything as this character, but I randomed them, so I'm just doing a chest run. Although we're already 45 minutes in because I died on the first attempt, but I don't care. I was mid-conversation, so we're just doing it again. I do have a question though. Where did I get all these keys? I haven't really been paying attention to the run, and I don't see myself with Skeleton Key. So where did I get 42 keys from? Oh, picking up money because I have flat penny. Never mind, I found the answer. Deep fried curly whirly? That sounds good. Stop tempting me, Satan. I said it sounded good, what I actually meant it sounded sinful. Oh, for anyone who was hoping that I would play Nemesis again, I recorded another game of it today. And I might do another one before I take it away. I'm going to paint another character for it first though. You want to order fried food now? Don't do it, you're still healthy, I think. Don't give in. Yes, Nemesis. And I used 2 characters this time, so it was a bit longer. And a bit more in keeping with how a normal game would go. I mean, that's fine, but I do like Book of the Dead. I just wasted the charge on it, but I do like it. For anyone who wasn't here immediately after I got started, I did announce a potential thing we're going to be playing in June for my birthday month instead of a Batman game, since we'll be done with Night before then. It's only a possibility, I'm still formulating ideas. Why are you dying so slowly? That quote scares you? It's Fortnite. Speaking of stereotypes, I like the most stereotypical Twitch-esque quote right there. And that's probably really from Fortnite. Is this Red Mom? Why is she not as red as she used to be? She's kind of like off pink. Yeah, it is Red Mom. That's so weird. It makes it much less obvious what version you're dealing with, which is not a good thing. What a pointless change. I forgot to use the charge. We can steal an item, which is just as well, because I didn't want that. Libra is never good. I really should just ignore it, although this selection is actually garbage. God's Flesh, I guess? Okay, yes, that's fair. I walked into that one, but it's true. Your Tamagotchi was replaced with a replicant a long time ago. Its hair is parted on the other side and you haven't noticed. Are you trying to find the you're a bear, I am not a bear thing? I think he was called Teddy. I don't quite remember. It's a lot of Bone Lords. Speaking of which, CR's Skeletons in Video Game Twitter surpassed 100,000 followers, which is pretty incredible. It's a shame there's not a way to monetize a Twitter, because that is a living right there. Okay, fine, you can do sponsored posts, but Skeletons in Video Games isn't really a... Well, I was going to say, but the Can You Pet the Dog Twitter gets like review codes and stuff, so if it keeps getting big enough. Bone Lords did all the work there. Wait, there's a new tab? Is there? I only use TweetDeck, so I don't really see the... Is there? How the hell do you monetize Twitter? Does it have like the new YouTube thing, like a thanks button, which is just a tip button? Twitter.com. Where would I need to go to look at this? I'll just go to my main page. Lists, bookmarks, DMs, mentions, explore, home, moments, Twitter for professionals. A professional wouldn't use Twitter. I do not see such a thing. Hello, Daniel. But then again, I've done nothing but lose followers on Twitter since like 2017, so maybe it doesn't show me that kind of stuff. It's on phone. Yeah, I can check that later. Oh, that's the blood puppy that attacks you when it gets pissed off. You know what, sure. It runs pretty strong. It looks adorable prior to getting a murder boner. Yeah, for anyone who only watches on YouTube, if you want to see CR's Twitter, does anybody have what it is specifically? Is like at skeletons in video games, or is it something shorthand? Like skeletons in VG, I don't know. Ah, skeleton pushed it into me. At skeletons in VGS. Okay. Oh, it's on screen. Yes, I am leaving the chat on screen. Look at this bone army! Hang on, this is exactly the type of decent screenshot you need for that Twitter. Not just one bone lord, how about a whole bunch? You're going to need to get them when they're moving out of sync. Hang on. That's a pretty fun room to... Ah, they're all in perfect sync now. You would have had to have grabbed it just before. They'll split up a little bit in the next room, but they may also die. That's a pretty good... Yeah, there we go. That's a perfect shot with the love hearts chasing the blood puppy. Not now, but when they were separated. If anyone wants to go back in the VOD and grab that and send it to him. He'll credit your Twitter account. Twitter's offering 2 video monetization programs? Twitter has videos? Oh yeah, of course they do, the short videos. I forgot that I uploaded a video or 2 of Sora. Good blood puppy just taking the death beams and just sitting there. Sorry, let me read the rest of that message now. This is dead. Amplify pre-roll, amplify sponsorships. Pre-roll ads on tweets? Ugh, I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit. How does that work? Like it forces a sponsored post before your post or something? Fortunately, Mom killed most of them. If you're looking for a fun way to play an orc army, don't play 40k. I don't know what other games have orcs, but don't play 40k. Necromunda, maybe? No, it's Games Workshop as well, but... No, don't play D&D, you're still normal. Presumably. Also, in general, you probably shouldn't collect plastic crack right now, with how much everything else is costing. Although I will say the price for the new Batman starter set, I would say, is very fair if you get it from a third-party retailer. Hey, Bone Lords! Isaac, you bastard! Also, why do I have two little... Oh no, I don't have two little deliriums. One of them is the angels. It'd be cheaper for you to order from Whaling Games. That's what EVP did. Although actually, the Top Hatted Hamster is ever so slightly cheaper than Whaling Games, but I'm not sure what postage would be like internationally. They're also selling a few copies via their eBay account. Their store eBay account, just to be clear. Which Whaling Games do as well, they sell stuff on eBay. D&D is more mainstream than Warhammer? Among virgins. Sorry, that was mean. Like, who does D&D have? Vin Diesel? Warhammer's got Henry Cavill. Like 30 plus podcasts? Everything has podcasts. Have you seen how many Marvel Crisis Protocol podcasts there are? And they're all pathetic, balding 40-year-olds talking about miniatures. And to be honest, I would love to do one as well, but I don't because I have some self-awareness. Plus I have something called Isaac. Oh no, he's turned evil. Oh no, he's fine now. He got a little bit of the lust, because he ate lust. Oh, that'll be interesting. We had this recently. I get people riled with my opinions. I do tend to accidentally do that, yeah. My opinion would basically boil down to it's only a game, why you have to be mad meme, but, you know. You know what's weird about Crisis Protocol? We don't have time left in the run to start a new topic of conversation, so I'll just round it up real quick. It has an amazing amount of people who want to create content for it, but there's not many people who want to consume it. Including those podcasts. I don't go out of my way to be contrarian. Look at that. It's one of those days where I just cannot talk. Contrarian. But I'm also not shy about saying I am in disagreement. Sure. Do you know where Bluey is? Nope. My general opinion of arguments on the internet is that they're pointless. Like, if people want to have like a rules argument on my tabletop channel, if I wanted to be rude, 90% of them would just be me replying with a picture of One Punch Man going okay. do it. I can't. You can't post picture reply. Oh, actually, I guess you could do it ASCII, couldn't you? No, I started that by saying that's rude. So that's why I'm not doing that. But I would if I could. Because I'm not interested in getting into rules debates. I'd rather just, if there is a debate, just roll a d6. And if something's wrong, so what? It's just a game, who cares? It's children's toys. Oh, incidentally, the number of times I forgot to do Nemesis Intruder bag development at the steps you're supposed to, at least 5 times. I did them, just not when you're supposed to, because I kept forgetting. Yeah, well, that was actually 2 pretty fun runs in a row. We're not doing Delirium though, because nuts to that, we're done!